This young master witnessed a scene early this morning that made him doubt life. Ling Tianyu, the wealthiest man in King City, revered by all, was actually locked out for an entire night. He couldn't help but wonder who lived in this courtyard. Just as he was pondering, he saw Ling Tianyu, who had just entered, emerge again in a great hurry. Huh? A figure like Ling Tianyu left so hastily, without even anyone to see him off? With that, he handed the birdcage to a servant, intending to see for himself who resided within. Just then, Sun Qiang walked out of the courtyard, truly worthy of being the master. So refreshed after breaking through. At this moment, he exuded the aura of the late-stage dermal bone realm. Seeing this, the young master was stunned. This fellow was still at the Dantian realm when he came out earlier. How did he suddenly become late-stage dermal bone realm? Over here, Sun Qiang also noticed him. Huh? Isn't this young master Du Yuan? What brings you here? Oh, I was just passing by. Du Yuan casually made an excuse, then asked again, weren't you at the Emporium? What are you doing here? I'm now the steward of this mansion working under the master. Hearing this, Du Yuan asked doubtfully, your master is? You don't know our master? Sun Qiang immediately showed a look of adoration. That's the master teacher Miaoxuan. Du Yuan heard master teacher. His heart was utterly shocked. No wonder Ling Tianyu willingly waited a whole night and was so cautious even seeing him. Right. If father could receive guidance from a master teacher, perhaps his hidden ailment could be cured, and he could regain his genius status. Thinking this, he continued to inquire, when did Master Yang arrive? How come we haven't heard of him? Sun Qiang put on an I'm only telling you expression. My master is low-key and doesn't want people to know. It's best you keep this to yourself. Don't spread it around. Just then, a horse carriage approached from not far away. He quickly said, all right, I still have things to do. Young Master Du, if you're free, please don't loiter here. It'll be troublesome if my master sees and unnecessary misunderstandings arise. However, Du Yuan didn't leave. He observed quietly from the side. He discovered that the one alighting from the carriage was Ling Tianyu, who had just left. He also brought a woman on a stretcher. Du Yuan couldn't help but guess. I heard Ling Tianyu's wife is gravely ill. It seems he knew a master teacher lived here, hence he stood for a night, begging for help with treatment. If this master teacher can cure an illness even Master Yuanyu couldn't, then isn't there great hope for my father? Meanwhile, when Ling Tianyu brought his wife into the mansion, he immediately knelt and pleaded, this is my wife, Yu Rao. Master Yang, please save her. The protagonist agreed and stepped forward. Upon seeing the woman's condition, he was slightly surprised. It's even more severe than imagined. I thought destroying the blood jade and proper nurturing would lead to easy recovery. Unexpectedly, she has fallen into a deep coma. If not treated soon, she'll be beyond saving. I was thinking, if she were awake, a few random punches could generate a book, identify flaws, then treat. But what to do now? Seeing the protagonist make no move, Ling Tianyu grew anxious. Master Yang, is there still hope for my wife? Don't rush, I'm observing. Though he said so, the protagonist's heart also began to panic. He'd already boasted. Failing at this crucial moment would be humiliating. If the first client isn't successful, not only will prior preparations be wasted, but his reputation will also be shattered. Then, his title as a master teacher will be a sham. The only hope now is the Heavenly Dao Library. But how to find the flaws? Just as the protagonist was at a loss, suddenly, a flash of inspiration. Right! I can try this! Then, he squatted down, looked at Ling Tianyu and said, prop your wife up, let me touch. Touch? Hearing this, Ling Tianyu's face instantly darkened. Sun Qiang beside them was also dumbfounded, silently giving a thumbs up, as expected of the master, truly domineering, making the husband hold his wife for you to touch. Before Ling Tianyu could speak, the protagonist added, forget it. Given her condition, better not to prop her up. I'll touch her myself. At this moment, Ling Tianyu was about to explode. If I don't help you, you'll do it yourself? Not even sparing a comatose patient, a master teacher, simply a beast. Thinking this, he shouted, Master Yang! But in the next second, he saw the protagonist place his hand on his wife's pulse. Huh? Didn't you say touch? Could touch, as Master Yang said, mean taking the pulse? Sun Qiang beside them was also speechless. Master's linguistic skills are wild, asking to touch someone's wife. Turns out it was this. Meanwhile, the protagonist, after taking Ling Tianyu's wife's pulse, a smile appeared at the corner of his mouth, and he thought, the protagonist's Heavenly Dao Library can collect information on all people and things, but the prerequisite is that the other party must first perform a martial skill. However, Ling Tianyu's wife is in a deep coma, unable to perform martial skills. How can he investigate her condition? At the critical moment, he remembered his match with Mo Yang. As long as it's a treasure, touching it with a finger automatically forms a book recording defects. Now this woman is in a deep coma, no different from a dead person. Perhaps she can also be treated as an item. Upon trying, he found it indeed worked. The Heavenly Dao Library truly formed a book about this woman. Opening it, it read, Yu Rou, 43 years old, resident of Tianshuan City, wife of Ling Tianyu of Tianyu Emporium, martial, warrior, early second tier. First, her meridians are frail, unable to cultivate profound techniques and true qi. Second, her aptitude is too poor, her perception of qi too low. Eighth, eroded by the southern blood jade's aura, 7 meridians and 8 vessels are blocked. Specific blockage locations are. Seeing this, the protagonist had a general idea, so it's just blocked meridians, that's easy to handle. Seeing him finish taking the pulse, Ling Tianyu hurriedly asked, Master Yang, how is it? Your wife's condition is not difficult to resolve. Not difficult? Hearing this, Ling Tianyu quickly bowed with cupped fists. Master Yang, please save her. Heaven values life. If I weren't willing to help, I wouldn't have meddled at Tianyu Emporium. However, Ling Tianyu, hearing this, quickly interjected, whatever is needed. As long as Master Yang asks, I'll spare no expense, even if it means losing my fortune. At this, the protagonist turned to him. Your wife has been corroded by that aura for too long. Curing her in a short time is unlikely. It will probably take 9 days, and each day will require considerable expense for precious medicinal herbs. Master Yang, what herbs are needed? I'll go buy them now. Hearing this, the protagonist's expression softened. I'll treat her first now. Saying so, he took out a silver needle and pierced the top of the woman's head. A stream of true qi followed it into her body. The next second, Yu Rou actually woke up directly. The protagonist was completely stunned. Ling Tianyu, seeing this, quickly went to support his wife. He marveled inwardly. Master Yang is truly formidable. A simple needle actually conceals such profound mystery, but he didn't know the protagonist was regretting it to his core. What have I done? She woke up at once. How can I make money slowly over time? Yu Rou, just awakened, was still unclear about what happened. Yu Rou, you're finally awake. Ling Tianyu explained to his wife, it was this Master Yang who saved you. Hearing this, the woman quickly rose to express her thanks. The protagonist, seeing this, could only force an explanation. It was nothing. However, the first day's treatment can only awaken her. I will prepare some medicinal herbs to help you recover your vitality. Once ready, I'll have someone deliver them. Ling Tianyu, after hearing this, expressed his heartfelt thanks again and again. Soon after, he left with his wife. At this moment, the protagonist finally couldn't hold it together anymore. I planned to solve a few issues a day, finishing in 10 days. But now she woke up too quickly. It feels like there was no difficulty at all. How can I swindle money? After seeing off Ling Tianyu and his wife, Sun Qiang returned to report. At this moment, he looked at the protagonist with adoration. Madame Ling's case baffled all of Tianshuan City. Master actually cured her in one go, truly amazing. However, the protagonist was not impressed by this at all. He casually asked, anything else? Also, these are the gold notes Ling Tianyu gave before leaving. A total of 1 million. 1 million? Hearing this, the protagonist immediately perked up. Forget it. Let's just take what we can get this time. Meanwhile, in the Du family mansion in Tianshuan City, Du Yuan rushed back. His father, Du Miaoxuan, seeing him so unsettled, showed slight displeasure. So, anxious to find me, is something wrong? Yes, a master teacher has come from King City. He cured Ling Tianyu's wife's illness with one move. I was thinking, hasn't Duo been injured? Can we ask him to take a look? Hearing this, Du Miaoxuan also became agitated. What did you just say? A master teacher came from King City? Yes, father. I saw it with my own eyes. It's absolutely true. But before he could finish, he found the old man had already disappeared. He saw him shouting from a distance. What are you standing around for? Hurry! Quickly go pay respects to that master teacher. Hearing a master teacher had arrived. From King City, everyone was abuzz. However, they didn't know. This so-called master teacher was actually the protagonist in disguise. At this moment, he was studying his cheat system. Since helping Ling Tianyu's wife, he unexpectedly discovered the Heavenly Dao Library could be activated even if the other party didn't use martial skills. So, he instructed Sun Qiang to lie down, wanting to test it again. However, Sun Qiang completely misunderstood. Previously, hearing about touching Ling Tianyu's wife, he thought the master had special P-how. Finally, it was clarified, and he relaxed a lot. Turns out, master's preference isn't women, but men. Seeing his troubled expression, the protagonist said impatiently, "Hurry up! I'm asking you to lie down, not to die. What's with the dawdling?" Under the other's oppressive might, poor Sun Qiang had to obey. However, after a bout of groping, the Heavenly Dao Library didn't activate. The protagonist couldn't help but voice his confusion. That's not right. Why is there still no reaction? Reaction? Master, what? What reaction do you want? Sun Qiang was thoroughly panicked now. Master has been groping randomly. Could it be? He wants me to have a reaction. Turns out you're a sub after all. Right. Just then, the protagonist suddenly thought of something. Xiao Qiang, don't move. Let me try knocking you out. Sun Qiang's face was full of bitterness upon hearing this. Master, what exactly do you want to do? Could it be, you're embarrassed while I'm awake? Just knocking you out for a bit. What's with all the nonsense? The protagonist, too lazy to dawdle, directly knocked him out. Touching Sun Qiang again, the Heavenly Dao Library indeed activated. So, unconscious people are like objects. Touching them makes a book appear. Just then, a guard suddenly reported, "Master, Elder Du Miaoxuan of the Du family seeks an audience." Thachi, protagonist heard, "Du family elder? Let him in." Then he used a very traditional and effective method to wake Sun Qiang. Meanwhile, Du Miaoxuan, waiting at the door, faintly sensed something amiss. How could a master teacher appear here so quietly, living in such a small courtyard? Moreover, a true master teacher has disciples like clouds and great pomp. Why use a rented emporium owner as a steward? Thinking this, he asked Du Yuan, "Did you personally hear Sun Qiang say a master teacher lives here?" "Yes, Sun Qiang said it himself. I also witnessed Ling Tianyu's matter with my own eyes." Hearing this, Du Miaoxuan thought to himself, "Whether he's a real master teacher or not, this is an opportunity for me. If he's a fraud, I'll just leave. My master happens to be free. Please come in." After entering the courtyard, Du Miaoxuan became even more certain of his suspicions. The courtyard's layout exuded a merchant's vulgar taste, nothing remarkable. This Master Yang is likely a fraud. Arriving at the main hall, just as Sun Qiang was introducing him and his son, Du Miaoxuan took the chance to observe the protagonist. This Master Yang looks about 40. His exposed skin is much smoother. His actual age should be younger. He's altered his appearance. If he's a real master teacher, why alter his appearance? Indeed a fraud. Meanwhile, the protagonist also noticed his gaze, feeling strange. Didn't this guy come specifically because he knew about Ling Tianyu? Why this attitude towards a master teacher? Just then, Du Yuan broke the silence. "It's like this. My father once suffered a serious illness, his cultivation greatly damaged. Hearing Master Yang has arrived, he wishes to ask if there's any remedy." The prestige of a master teacher. The protagonist frowned. "Am I a doctor?" At this moment, he felt slightly displeased. "A master teacher. This disguise is for this very prestige. This teacher title, and you give me such a suspicious attitude? If I rush to treat him, wouldn't I lower my status?" Seeing the protagonist's attitude, Du Yuan immediately panicked. He looked at his father, at a loss. Du Miaoxuan suddenly put on a smiling face. "Oh, it's my son who misspoke. Master Yang, please forgive him. I just have some problems with my cultivation. Hearing of Master Yang's arrival, I couldn't help but want to learn a thing or two. I hope Master Yang will not begrudge his guidance." Problems with cultivation? The protagonist found it amusing. Looks like this old fox suspects me. But with the Heavenly Dao Library in hand, even a true master teacher is far inferior to me. "So, you're suspicious? Then I'll make you dare not suspect." Thinking this, the protagonist chuckled lightly. "Then how do you wish to learn?" "I've just learned a martial skill that's somewhat difficult to master. I hope Master Yang can point out my mistakes." With that, he assumed a stance, true ki instantly swirling around him. The protagonist, seeing this, silently chanted in his mind, "Flaws!" In an instant, he obtained all the other party's information. Just as Du Miaoxuan was about to demonstrate, he heard the protagonist interrupt. "Looking at your stance, this ethereal fist technique is practiced well. Should be at the third zhang. But You seem to have some trouble controlling the power within your body. If I'm not mistaken, at this point, the protagonist's expression suddenly turned serious. You're a beast, aren't you? This old man vaguely discerned that this master teacher was an imposter. He wanted to demonstrate a fist technique on the spot to expose him. Who knew the protagonist possessed a god-tier cheat, saw through him at a glance, and even called him a beast? At these words, Sun Qiang and Du Yuan were greatly shocked. Master Yang, even if my father offended you, you don't need to insult him by calling him a beast. Insult? The protagonist smiled faintly. Ask your father if I'm insulting him. Du Yan, hearing this, turned to his father with suspicion. Who knew Du Miaoxuan, without a word, would directly kneel? He kowtowed repeatedly to the protagonist, begging, Master Yang, save me! This scene left Sun Qiang completely stunned. Huh? Is this Du Miaoxuan out of his mind? Just now his tone was harsh, acting all high and mighty, but Master just called him a beast, and he knelt. However, the protagonist then instructed Sun Qiang to see the guests out. Du Miaoxuan, seeing this, kowtowed, desperately. It was I who failed to recognize Mount Tai. Master Yang, please give me a chance. But the protagonist remained unmoved. Are you kidding? What do you take me for? Suspect when you want, believe when you want? Seeing Sun Qiang hesitate, the protagonist's brow furrowed. What? My words don't work anymore? Sun Qiang, seeing this, no longer showed mercy and shouted, Men, escort Elder Du out! 2 guards then lifted Du Miaoxuan and walked him out. No matter how he pleaded, it was useless. After being thrown out, Du Miaoxuan did not leave. He immediately knelt at the entrance of Yang Manor. Seeing this, Du Yuan was extremely puzzled. Kneeling, directly at the entrance. Why? Just because he was called a beast? Does father truly have some masochistic tendencies? Just then, Du Miaoxuan suddenly spoke. You kneel too. This Master Yang is a true master teacher. I misspoke earlier and offended him, so I must apologize. A master teacher cannot be insulted. Not even the slightest disrespect is allowed. Du Yuan still wanted to ask something, but Du Miaoxuan suddenly turned his head and roared, Kneel! Our only hope now is to beg him not to hold it against us, because only he can cure my illness. Du Yuan, seeing this, could only comply obediently. But he was still puzzled. It seems Master Yang didn't say much just now, just cursed, You're a beast. Could it be because of this one sentence that Duo is so certain? Equally puzzled was Sun Qiang, the chief steward, thinking of the protagonist's 3 true sayings. How's your family? Touch your wife. You're a beast. He couldn't help but wonder, do all master teachers like to talk this way? Next time Master isn't around, I'll find a chance to try it too. Returning to the living room, Sun Qiang reported Du Miaoxuan kneeling at the entrance, but the protagonist said it was fine to let them kneel. At this moment, he was chowing over 23 million, waiting for others to gratefully send money like. This isn't a solution, but if he asks for money, it doesn't fit the status of a master teacher. He'll be labeled a fraud. Thinking this, the protagonist stood up. I'm going out for a bit. You don't need to follow. Passing by Sun Qiang, he suddenly said, Here, go do something for me. Then he leaned close to Sun Qiang's ear and whispered instructions. Meanwhile, Du Miaoxuan was still persistently kneeling at the entrance. He explained to Du Yuan, If I get up and leave now, I'm afraid there will be no more chances to solve my problem. Just then, he suddenly heard the guards inside chatting. Heard? Previously, when Lord Ling sought our master for treatment, he offered 1 million gold coins right away, so generous. 1 million? Really? Of course it's true. I heard Brother Sun say, Master accepted it only to put the other party at ease. He doesn't want others to owe him favors. And initially, he didn't want to meddle in Lord Ling's affairs. It was because he bribed Brother Sun with a lot of money. Brother Sun put in a good word, that's how he got in.